So I want to make. I'm trying to get right in the camera. I want to make this video. I want to tell you guys how I met my wife because then a lot of people will understand when I say, we go through so many ups and downs. And I keep telling people we met when we were 15, and a lot of people go, "That's a really young age." I met my wife on. Let me make myself taller. Oh, there we go. All right. Wow, it makes a difference. I met my wife on the first day of school. I'm originally from Alabama. She's from Puerto Rico. I moved here, and I didn't know anyone. So my first day of school, I go up to this crowd. I'm you probably wouldn't notice right now, but I'm very alternative. So I was new, and I really wanted to hang around people that, were we had things in common. I went to it was like this alternative group of people. I mean, we were like straight out rockers in school. Like, it was crazy. My wife like wore these big baggy jinkos. We had like I was like in love with like Ozzy Osbourne music and Godsmack, and she was like into freaking she likes like Limp Bizkit and things like that. I don't like them though. I like Testament and things like that. And I listen to a lot of blues too and gospel. That's my background. So anyway, so I go up to this group, and originally, like, I went up, someone else introduced me to the group, and this girl comes out, and this girl was hitting on me. No one introduced my wife. I guess no one really liked her. I don't know why. She was like this big fireball of joy. But she comes out and she's like, "Hi, my name is Dagda." And I'm like, "What's up?" Like, I'm talking to her, whatever. And we ended up in the same class that day. Somehow, I just knew that I was meant to be with her. I don't know how, but I just knew. So I wrote her a letter. I didn't know if she would like me. Um, I and I she she never dated anyone like me. Like, she never dated anyone like me. I'll just put it that way. But I wrote her a letter, and I said, "My home life is boring. Can I call you?" She wrote me back and she said, "Yeah." So that's how we started talking. It's like I didn't want to call her, but she ended up calling me first. And the next that night, I was like in bed and I prayed to God. I was like, I really want to be with this girl. I was like, she's the one, and I was only 15. I was praying though. I was like, I really want to be with this girl. She's the one for me. This is who I want to be with. So we kept talking, and 3 days later, I said, "Will you go out with me?" And she said, "Hold on." She hung up with me. She called everybody in the world and told them that she was gonna date me, but she never gave me an answer. I guess she forgot. So finally, I'm like sitting in the pool, just waiting on her call. She calls back and she goes, "I don't know." She's like, "I never," at the time, she's like, "I never dated a girl before," and she's like, blah blah blah, and then she's like, I don't know, I don't know," and it was just weird because she never dated a girl before, and she likes girls, and well, my wife likes everybody. She doesn't judge by gender. She judges by the heart. That's how she says it. But anyway, so she finally like calls me back and says yeah, and we started from there. We stayed there 2 months, no sex, no nothing, because we were so young, and my family was threatening to send me back to Alabama. So it was her plan. I said, "Will you run away with me?" I didn't think she was gonna do it, but she did. She she said that she had never been out of Puerto Rico and Florida. So I took a map and I said, "Pick anywhere you want to go, and I'll take you there." And she picked South Carolina. And this is the bad part, so don't judge me. We stole my uncle's car and we ran away. I got scared and I didn't want to go. And she was like, "It's now or never if you love me." So I packed all my stuff. We left with $70 and we ran away. We ended up in Georgia. We ended up in Lake Park, Georgia. And we ended up in Valdosta, Georgia, and there was this $20 motel. We rented my uncle's car out for $20 a night, and that's how we ended up surviving. And then we met this lady that went with this guy next door, and she bought us like $1 burger every day. We lived off of like dollar burgers and a one can of cola for like a wow. We were like, a wow. Finally, we got a job at a motel, and we were still 15, but they hired us. I think they thought we were just illegal, like, immigrants or whatever. But they hired us, and we worked there. And I ended up living with this lady that was helping us, and we lived in an all black neighborhood. And she actually, I don't know, I think she had something against like white people, I don't know, but she actually sent my wife home because we didn't want her to get hurt, because people were like just eyeing her really bad, especially the guys. And because I was so young, I knew I couldn't really protect her at the time. I would have tried my best, but I'm not gonna lie, like there were so many people that just were like, you just feel the vibe. So I sent her home, And the lady ended up putting me out one night for no reason, just because this lady started doing drugs, and I met this guy. And this is how God works again, because when I worked at the motel, this guy came with his wife. He said he was broke, and I offered to get him our last $50, but he wouldn't take it. And everybody kept saying, "Don't give it to him, don't give it to him," and he wouldn't take it anyway. But the same guy I met again, he didn't have a dime to spare. He asked me for change for a payphone, and I asked him for a lighter for my cigarette. I told him my story, and he says, "Come with me." He took me to his friend's house. And I kept saying, if you try anything, I was like, "I'll kill you." And I took a lot of chances back then, I did. But this guy really helped me. Like, we ended up staying at this other guy's house, and we were all, like, homeless. But this guy had a house, no power, no nothing. And that night, wow, this boy can snore. But that night, he said, "You ever been to Carney before?" And I said, "No, I didn't know what a Carney was." But anyway, God, leave this boy can snore. Anyway, so I ended up joining the carnival. I went on my first trip, and I only came back with $8 because I sucked at running games. And I called my wife, and she said she couldn't bear being without me anymore. And she came back down. She ran away from home again to come with me. And to make a long story short, we went back to the carnival again, and we stayed with the carnival for almost a year, and that's how we made our living. We made pretty good money, actually. We saved up enough money to catch buses back from. We came back from Michigan. We came back from Ionia, Michigan, and we traveled everywhere. We traveled all over the world. We came back from Ionia, Michigan. We went back to Valdosta. We stayed in Valdosta. At 16, we had a two-bedroom house. We were renting a two-bedroom house, and it was only her and I. And then we went through a lot together. If I could just explain it in detail, you guys would be amazed. But we went through some crazy stuff. I mean, we went through, like, seeing people we knew go to drugs. We went through just, we didn't get, like, we didn't go prostitute. We didn't get on drugs. We just, I don't know, man. It was like we just did it. I don't know. It's weird. And that's why I don't know. That's why I'm so close to it. Like, we go through a lot of stuff, and I talk a lot of trash to her. She talks a lot of trash to me. But at the end of the day, it's just kind of like, I don't know if I would have it any other way. I mean, I missed out on a lot of my life, things that probably would have mattered to a lot of other people. But when you have someone like her, you don't dwell on the things that you missed, because you came out a lot better. She made a better person out of me, because before I met her, to give you guys some of my background, like, I didn't want to share this, but I was in a gang, and I won't name it or whatever, but before I met her, I really was. That's how I ended up in Florida. I was in a gang, and my family wanted me out, so they moved me. I didn't have a choice. But because of her, my whole attitude changed. Like, before I met her, I was the type of person that if you stepped on my shoe, I would kind of be like, I'm ready to fight. I know it doesn't seem like it, but I changed a lot. And when I met her, I don't know, man, this girl, it's amazing how someone can change a person. It is. I know. Anyway, so we've been together ever since. I'm 21, and my wife is 20. Yeah. And I don't know what I would do without her. So I just want to share that with you. It's a long story. I can go into details, and you guys would be amazed. But I just want to let you guys know, like, our love history. You know what I mean? So, alright.